Hi everyone, I'm finally getting around to making the part 2 of my weed withdrawal series of videos, and it has been forever long. Um, that video that I made about the weed withdrawal symptoms was, I believe, 2 years after my quitting day. But I posted it about three and a half, almost 4 years around that time, um, after my last day of smoking weed. So a lot's happened since then, and I know I really should have made this video about post-acute withdrawal syndrome. Should have made it a long time ago because it's kind of unfair making that video and then saying I'm going to make a pause video and not making one. But here it is. I've had a couple people ask about it. I hope this still gets to you in time to help you through your journey, your withdrawal journey. Um, so we'll just get right to it. Uh, as I said in my last video, I quit weed. It was a cold turkey thing. I didn't mean to quit, but it happened, and I didn't want to start smoking again. But because it was such a um, severe withdrawal, because I quit cold turkey, I did have a lot of symptoms. I think I had all the symptoms that are listed about withdrawal and post-acute withdrawal. So you, when you quit weed or any substance or anything really, you have a withdrawal period, like a physical withdrawal period where you feel, um, you know, aches or dizziness or physical things, and that withdrawal can take up to 3 weeks, I would say. For me, it was about 4 weeks. Um, Now, the second part of withdrawal, if you're lucky enough to get it, which is the post-acute withdrawal syndrome, um, starts after that. And this is kind of more of a psychological withdrawal, or not withdrawal, but psychological symptoms. Um, and they're kind of, for me, they were pretty terrifying because I didn't expect this. What I thought was happening while I had post-acute withdrawal syndrome, I thought, this is what it feels like to be sober, and it sucks. And will it ever end? And then I realized, wait, this is just another part of the withdrawal experience. And knowing that helped because it didn't feel like these symptoms were going to last forever, and it didn't feel like this is just my life from now on. It just felt like a transition period, a tough transition period. But if you know that, I think you're more likely to get through quitting and staying sober. So, look, I've written down some of these symptoms. Now, I said they're psychological and emotional symptoms. Um, it's kind of frustrating because you can't see and touch these things, or there's not as many things you can do to soothe yourself from these symptoms. You just kind of have to let them take their course. So, one of the symptoms, of course, as always, when you change your lifestyle in any way, you get mood swings. So, with post-acute withdrawal syndrome, and I'm only speaking for weed withdrawal, it's not alcohol or barbiturates or sugar or anything like that. This is weed withdrawal because it's all I know. My mood swings were heavy. I just got a puppy who saved my life, but I would get really frustrated with him being a puppy and just, wanting to bite me all the time and needing to go outside and having accidents and stuff. And I was a good dog mom, but once in a while I would just get overwhelmed and I would growl or shout, and it would scare him, and I felt so bad. But I would think, where the hell did that come from? I'm so patient with this puppy. I love him. But I would have these little fits of rage, and they would be so severe. I would have the fit, and then I would just numb. I would just almost, what is it called? Those seizures where you just black out, you just blank. And I would have that for about 5 minutes, and then I would come back to normal. Um, So that's kind of a mood swing that I remember from, 4 years ago. It's been 4.5 years I've been sober now. Then you get fatigue, low energy. It feels like, you're walking through mud. People say, oh, workout, exercise, and you think, I don't have the energy to do that. I barely have the energy to clean anymore. So expect fatigue. What's another one? I have a list here. Foggy thought process. That was a big symptom of mine. I was finishing up my last year of college, and all of these final papers and projects, and I thought, I cannot do this. I totally can't do this. I couldn't think right. I couldn't make a meal plan. I couldn't, plan what I was going to wear for the day. I was just so foggy headed. I ended up having to quit on my last year, like the last month of college, just before getting, my degree or certification. I can't remember what I was doing. But foggy headed. You just can't focus. And it's not like a choice. It's not like, oh, this bores me. I don't feel like it. It's just like, I can't. Poor memory. I still am affected by that 4.5 years later. I'll have a friend over, we'll be doing something, and they'll say, oh, remember we did this, back in 2015, and I think, oh shit, we did. I should remember that. I should have remembered that as soon as we started this, but things, people need to remind me of, um, memories from 5+ years ago, and I remember them once I'm told them. But if I'm not told, I won't remember things. So as my long-term memory was affected, is still affected. Poor impulse control. Oh God. Okay. Without getting too deep into this, yes, I had poor impulse control. My marriage was over, but we were still living together, and I would do things that I wouldn't normally do, like flirt, or um, go out with someone, and it was, I can tell you honestly, it was impulse. It was poor judgment. It was almost like I felt like I've been through so much shit. This seems fun. Let me do that, and not thinking about what about this, what about that, what about this. That's where my impulse control was poor. Increased sensitivity to stress. Same thing. I think maybe because your mood swings are going on and you can't focus, you get overwhelmed. And any small stress, like I said, like making a meal plan or cleaning, just seems like too much. And it's weird because these are things you do every day without even thinking about it. And during post-acute withdrawal syndrome, these things are debilitating and it feels crappy. Um, Alcohol, other drug cravings, I didn't have that, but it's because I associated drugs with this horrible withdrawal experience. So somebody could have like lit a bong and put it right in front of me, and I'd be like, get that shit away from me. I'm not going through this again. So my experience, I didn't have cravings, but you might. Alcohol and drug dreams is another symptom. I had that. I would dream that I would smoke another joint, and I'd be like, oh shit, I've just ruined, I've been sober this long and I've just ruined it and I have to start over. Those are actually kind of pretty frequent. Insomnia, vivid dreams, that also happens during withdrawal, could happen during pause as well. Anxiety and panic attacks. Everybody knows that I had the panic disorder when I had pause. Just one panic attack after another for no reason. It was pretty exhausting. Then, let's see, the last two I have here are apathy and depression. Um, and apathy is like severe low mood, no motivation, um, no enthusiasm, just numb. And this, these last two symptoms to me were the worst. It was bad, bad, bad for me. And that's where I would think, oh my God, is this what sober's being like? Is this what it's like to be sober? Um, and it was hard because, I was trying to give it my last go with my marriage, but I just didn't feel anything for anybody or anything. Um, uh, my course, I didn't care about my course anymore. Um, I'll talk a little more about that in just a second, but I just want to say these symptoms that I've listed, they can last a while. So be patient, be very patient. They can last, some of these will last up to 2 years, sometimes more. But don't think that they'll be as intense as time goes on. They definitely do dissipate over time. Um, and I think what causes them to dissipate is you accepting that you're no longer having this substance in your life and you're going to need to rebuild your life completely. Um, New people in your life, maybe like a new diet, new habits, new hobbies, new perspectives, and all that takes time. It's like building a whole nother life. The life that you had before, you spent 25, 30, 40, 45 years building. This new life, you're being forced to quickly build a new life without this substance. So it's going to take time, but you'll start to gain confidence and trust in yourself as you keep going day by day, as you keep pushing, as you keep finding new things to do, um, as you find new things to replace your old life and your old habits with. Um, and I think you gain this confidence because you begin to trust yourself and you trust what you need. And when you give yourself what you need and you realize, oh, that was what I needed. And, you start to get a feel for yourself, what you need, and trust yourself. And then you get confidence in yourself. And then these symptoms just start to disappear. Um, in my case, I developed a couple disorders due to pause. Um, and they were derealization and depersonalization. And I remember at 5 months sober, I started to feel like, okay, I'm good. I'm getting there. I'm doing all right. And then these disorders hit me. I was at a car performance show, and I thought, wow, I'm doing so well that I'm able to get out of the house and be around crowds of people and not be overwhelmed and not be, start to panic. And it was great. Then I'm walking around and I'm looking at the trees outside. It's summertime, everything's green, and I see all the people, and then I just start to feel like, oh my God, this isn't real. Wait, am I dreaming? Is this a dream? How do I wake up? And it started to get really terrifying. And it's hard. It's really hard for me to explain, but I don't know if it was like a filter that I saw that made things look like the way dreams look, um, or if it was like a misconnect, or like I just couldn't connect to anything. So I felt, oh, maybe this is a dream. This isn't real. I'm not sure what it was. All I can say is that I felt like I was in the middle of something that wasn't real. Um, and to make it worse, I had forgotten that the next day I had to go off on a study tour with my college, and we were going to be away traveling for 7 days. And that sounds wonderful, and it should have been wonderful. We were traveling to all these beautiful gardens all over the Lake District, and it was awful because the whole time I felt like everything was unreal. And I guess it didn't help being around these dreamlike gardens, but I went anyway, and it was just, it was awful. I couldn't connect to anything. I didn't feel anything. People noticed me being this way, and they would say, "You need to enjoy this. You never have anything like this in your life." So, it was just patronizing and terrifying having those disorders. Um, I didn't have any emotions or any feelings, and that's weird for me because I'm usually very emotional, very able to feel and show my feelings. But what I think caused these disorders is the past 5 months of feeling intense feelings, crazy, scary feelings, and then finally my brain saying, okay, just shut it all down. Just shut it all down. Let's let her relax. So I think that's what caused that. Um, and if I had known that before, I maybe would have appreciated it, but it was just really scary. Um, let's see. So, if you think about it, before you quit a substance, your brain is, and your body, and your emotions, and your mental state are all dependent on this substance that you're giving it. And when you take it away, everything goes to chaos. And then there's these physical things that happen. And then when that's over, there's emotional, mental things that happen. And it's complicated, and it's different for everybody, but it seems to be that that's the case when it's a severe withdrawal experience. And if you think about it, it makes so much sense, because if you walked with crutches all your life, and your body becomes accustomed to having crutches, maybe your legs aren't as strong because they got the support of the crutches, and your arms are strong, and you're just used to it, and that's your life, crutches. And then comes a time when you need to get rid of the crutches and you stop walking with them. Your legs are going to buckle, and your arms are going to be heavy, and you're going to not have confidence. You're going to feel, oh God, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall. And it's scary. And then, your muscles become accustomed to not having these crutches, and your body's okay, but then in your brain, you're still worried about falling, or you're still worried about having to go back to the crutches. And then you can almost go positive with it. You can think to yourself, well, I don't have crutches anymore. I can do so much more than I could without the crutches. And then you start to, play basketball, swim, or you have more fun without them. I think that's a lot like what quitting a substance is like. It's hard, and so many transitions, and it's scary. It's a new life, and you're used to the old one. But try and stay positive. Um, find things that you can do now without the substance that you couldn't do before, that you'll enjoy, and start doing that more. Um, and just keep going. This is hard work. It's really hard work, and these transitions and these life lessons that come from it are forced on you, but people get through it all the time, and they end up better on the other side. I'll do another video about how my life has changed. um, I'm, I'm pretty much a completely different person than I was before I quit smoking, and the first 2 years of struggling getting through withdrawal. So much so that I've changed my name, my first name. And yeah, everything's different, and I would not go back. And I'm so happy that I kept pushing through, and when pause came along, I did my research and I kept going, and I did what I had to do. It was hard work. It wasn't easy, and I made mistakes, but keep going. Nothing that you can do to help yourself, even if it doesn't work out, it's not going to go to waste. It's going to come in handy later on in life. So you can do this. I promise you, you can do this, and it's so much better on the other side, being sober and being more in control of yourself. If anybody's interested, I'll make a video of how my life has changed, and that way you can see that it's so much brighter on the other side, and it's kind of worth it. It's actually it's worth it. It's worth going through all this crap, and it's weird for me to say that because I remember how horrible this withdrawal is. I remember how horrible what you're going through is, but I can honestly say that it was worth it. If you have any questions, if there was anything that I wasn't clear on, or if I didn't touch on something that you want to know about, just send me a comment. And yeah, let me know if you want a video about my life and how it's changed. Might be kind of inspirational for you. Well, all my love and good luck. I'm here if you need me. And I hope this video helps in some way.